Okay. Big question. The whole word. CEO says Daman is the BCM program head and 10,000 people are know. What does he do? We don't know. Okay. So please get connected with me on LinkedIn. That's what my request is. Please you send me the request. I'll accept immediately. I will not be able to because I send so many requests that LinkedIn keeps stopping my access that there is a weekly quota. The one you have exhausted your weekly quota of sending connection requests. I write almost every day on LinkedIn. So there's a lot of learning sharing. This is only 1 hour session, but LinkedIn, I'm saying every day, almost every day, I keep writing. So look at one of these posts. I hope you're able to see it. About 4 months ago, I wrote this. And this is your elevator pitch. The challenge was I'm saying 16 years, and this question never came to mind like this, the way it came about 4 months ago. Idea I got from someone writing, what does an auditor do? And then I said, why should I not write? What does the BC manager do? And that's when I wrote this. Now it's available to you all. I am a business continuity manager. I serve my organization to protect and enhance its value. Oh, I never knew this. BC managers do that. I serve my organization to protect and enhance its value. I design and develop a proactive, reasonable, and practicable. Big words. Ashit, can you go on mute, please? Improve my organization's ability to ensure continuity of the basic minimum. I follow global good practices. I coordinate with other domains, finance. I am respected and admired because I provide assurance to all relevant interested parties. CEO, can I see you, please? Elevator pitch. And by the way, I have defined a little longer. If you wish, you can read all these definitions also. Then these bullets, elevator pitch, you have little long essay also available to you. For 15 years, this was not in mind, but I'm happy that I got motivated by that post. What do auditors do? And then I wrote, what do we, the BC managers, do? The standard, when we talk of ISO 22, when we talk of BCM, then the standard is ISO 22301. The current version is 2019 version, in which PDCA cycle can be defined like this: to establish, implement, monitor, and improve. The requirements for business continuity will come from your interested parties. And once the cycle is over, you will have at the end, what's the output? Manage the business continuity for your interested parties. And this has to continue forever. And I'm saying continual improvement. I'm not saying continuous improvement. Some people say the one, this is just English. It seems you are from Britain. I mean, there is a difference between continuous and continual. Today, I do not have time to spend time on this because I want to spend more time on BIA and RA, which was the request. Another look at PDCA cycle. Any standard is written in terms of clauses. So ISO 22301 also is written in clauses. There are 10 in all. First 3 are kind of definitions. 4 onwards are actionable. 4, 5, 6, 7 make the plan portion of PDCA cycle. Clause 8, there is only one clause in 2, but maximum work in BCM cycle happens in this clause. And then clause 9, check, and 8 is clause 10. Third view of PDCA cycle by clause name. There were 4 for plan, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the names. Only one for do clause 8, which the name is operation. Check is performance evaluation, and act is improvement, clause number 10. Question for you all. Anyone, please unmute, switch on camera if you wish. Which stage of the BCM life cycle talks of BIA and RA?
Section 6.
Clause 8.
Section 6, and then followed by 8 is implementation. 6 is the planning.
Okay, so section, you said section means clause. Okay, I was wondering what is section 6. Okay.
Section 6 is planning and risk assessment. That annexure SL is common across all the standards.
So clause 6, I'm saying, not section 6. When you said section, then I was a bit confused.
Well, in the US, we call it section. In India, you call clause. So
The
it's
whole
very
word
interchangeable.
calls it clause, I believe. The standard is written as clause. I'm talking of
Yes.
ISO 22301 with due respect. Thank you very much. But I understand now. Yeah. Okay. 6 is planning, and 8, which is operation, we are saying, do portion, that talks of BCM within BCM lifecycle about BIA and RA, which is the focus for today for ourselves. Okay. I said maximum work happens in do 5 activities: BIA, RA, strategies, plans, and testing. So 5 activities happen in do. Okay. And I said access those clauses from ISO 22301-2019. How can you do that? It's a challenge. All right. All ISO standards are priced items. Some of you may not have those. During COVID-19 pandemic, ISO has made about 6 standards available free, but a read-only version. So if you go to internet, search for free ISO 22301, you will be able to find it, and then you will be able to see these clauses. All right, little from me. First thing first, what is that? The big bout. What comes first, BIA or RA?
Under BIA, we will perform the RA, right? Both quantitative and quantitative.
RA technically should come first, followed by BIA, because RA is the overall risk assessment, and then BIA will fall under that as a part of enterprise risk assessment.
Thanks, Ashit. Anyone else? This debate, known to me, has been going on for 16 years, and for us, there is no conclusion.
Sir, if you see the clause number 6, it talks about the identification of risk, with respect to the business. And, it is written very clearly in the context of the clause number 4. So I think first we need to understand the risk, which is with respect to the, context of the organization. And then we need to do the impact assessment, because that's what what I am been getting understanding it. Maybe now you can give us the more insight to us.
Okay. Again, I'm admitting this is a big debate going on for long. I'm saying I'm giving conclusion, but it's still me. There will be some difference of opinion. All right. This is my YouTube channel. You'll find something here. I hope you can see.
Hello.
Voice clear.
The name is Daman.
Is the audio video clear?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Daman Dev Sood. Today is the big BOUT day. The famous question going on around for long: what should be conducted first, BIA or RA? I will attempt to give you my perspective today. If you look at ISO 22301-2019 version, the table of contents shows clause 8.2, business impact analysis and risk assessment. It's clear, isn't it? Business impact, and then RA, risk assessment. Otherwise, they would have written it as risk assessment and business impact analysis. If you go deep into the clauses in the standard, we once again see 8.2.2 business impact analysis and 8.2.3 risk assessment. I'll come back to 8.2.3 once again a little later. If you look at NCMA 7000 2021 version, again, we see very clearly BIA is first, clause 8.2, and then is clause 8.3 on risk assessment. I've been making this statement And BIA needs to be conducted for all processes in the organization. Some organizations, some clients say, Naman, we conduct BIA for our critical processes, which is not correct according to me.
Can you go on mute, please, Ramakrishnan? Thank you.
We do not know the criticality of our processes before conducting BIA. Criticality is the output of BIA. And this criticality is based on only one parameter, RTO, recovery time objective, which we established in or through BIA. I make another statement that RA needs to be conducted for only prioritized processes in the organization. But this is Daman saying, right? Who is Daman? Stay with me, please. If we go with this statement, RA needs to be conducted for only prioritized processes. That tells us that we need to conduct BIA before RA, because BIA tells me what are the critical processes. As I said, we'll come back to 8.2.3. This statement not made by me. The statement is written in the standard also. 8.2.3 subclause A. The organization shall identify the risks of disruption to the organization's prioritized processes, prioritized activities. Standard tells me that RA will come after BIA. So I believe a final verdict given today, it has to be BIA before RA. BIA tells us what are the critical processes, and RA needs to be conducted for those critical processes.
Daman,
If you would like to know more,
Thank you very much. So this is what my view is. I'm repeating. I understand clause 6 also talks of risk. My understanding is that risk is higher level. That is the risk to the organization.
Daman, can I ask you one question?
Let me complete. Yes, I'll come to you. Right?
Yeah.
That 6 is talking of risks. Risks based on, we say issues, risk there, right? Based on the context of the organization. By the time we reach do portion, clause 8, it is BIA before RA. Very clear to me. RA needs to be conducted for each prioritized process. That's what I'm talking of. BIA first and then RA, because BIA only is telling me what is critical. Yes, please. And tell me your name also, please.
Hi, Daman. This is Pradeep Shetty here.
Yes,
How are you? Yeah. Actually, this is the very topic that's where I have thought of this subject, and put it in the beginning, saying BIA RA. So it is RA, BIA, and RA. As per the standard, it is RA first, then BIA, then RA.
In Daman, I tend to
That's
agree with
good.
Pradeep, because if you seek any standard, take 14,001, 45,001, 50,001, and including IC 62443, which is for the, there is a background noise. Can anybody mute that, please? Hello?
Can I request people to be on mute if you're not speaking, please?
So basically, context of the organization sets the tone for doing the risk assessment, and this is the reason being is that you can't jump onto the section 8 unless you have the buy-in from the senior management. And senior management is not just going to look into BIA, they are going to look at the enterprise risk assessment, and section 4.4 very clearly says it has to be aligned to the strategy. Whether you take environmental management system, whether you take OHS, or you take even ISO 27001.
So,
So
yes,
in this particular case, I beg to differ with you, because RA always starts with that. And also, when you philosophy and align with the COSO, which is internal control framework, or IT general control, those are the things where risk, you start with the risk and then flow down into the processes. BI is very important, but there are other overarching process, because senior level management cannot visualize BI straight away unless they have the handle on the overall risk to which an organization is exposed to, and then they would prioritize.
Thank you very much, Ashit. And I'm looking, we would have different views, and we know, with due respect, if you go to US, it will be RA first, then BIA. UK, Europe, rest of the world, it will be BI before RA. 99.99% cases. There would be some exceptions, there would be some deviations. I'm sure there are some people sitting here also from India, they will say,
Daman,
RA first, right? So I don't mind. We have different opinions.
I'll make it easy for you. Daman,
Can people go on mute, please, first, if you're not speaking?
I think there is one
Sir, I
background
request
noise.
everybody, if you are not speaking, please keep it on the, because this is one of the very important discussion we are doing. We need to respect the time of all professionals. Please, when you want to talk, please that time unmute. Otherwise, mute it, please.
Thank you very much.
And Daman, I will give you another reason behind it. Even if you take whether US or otherwise, when you take NIST standard, NIST 800-53, the predecessor is NIST 800-30 and 37. 30 is basically a risk management framework. So whether you are doing NIST CSF or CMMC or any other standard, the starting point will be NIST 800-53. So, and believe me, because one of the first things they ask, even the regulator asks, is what is the risk assessment? Have you done the risk assessment? It is included even in PCI DSS. Every year they need to do the risk assessment. They don't say it with respect to only cardholder data. No. So RA takes the precedence, in my opinion, regardless of where you are. Now, if you have a different interpretation in India, I am not aware of it. But
Okay,
this part
good.
of the world, it is 100%
Thanks,
sure RA
thanks,
takes.
Ashit. Thanks, Ashit. And in the interest of time, I would like to move on. I also said these are my views, right? And some people would have more experience than me. I don't mind. Yes, I respect that. 6.1.2 in front of us. It doesn't say RA. We are talking of BIA and RA. All right. And I'm just repeating. Do I know everything in the world? I do not.
No.
But I've done some implementations, right? Could be 50 perhaps. I know 50 organizations across countries, companies and countries, right? It is BIA before RA, and we have been successful. It is talking of risks and opportunities. Did it say RA? It didn't say. There was ERM in the organizations before BCM. We can't deny this. But we still need to do RA when it comes to BCM. And there were challenges
Daman.
also. Yes, please.
Daman, I'm Satish.
Yes, Satish.
The clause 6.1 and the difference between clause 6 and clause 8 has been cleared by ISO standard itself.
Thank you very much.
They
I don't know that. Yeah.
Clause 6 itself is about the risk related to the management system when you implement BCMS in the organization.
Thank you
risk
very
could
much.
be there
Yes.
to the BCMS. It's made very clear in the standard itself now.
Thank you very much.
And the 8th clause is about implementation of BCMS. Okay, so related to continuity operation. It's been made very clear the difference between clause 6 and clause 8.
I'm not saying 6 is not to be done. I'm not.
It is to be done.
It is to be done. Yes, if you want to be. You know, someone say, is it mandatory to get certified? No, it is not mandatory to get certified. Is it mandatory to follow ISO 22301? No, I can implement BCM even without following ISO 22301. But the moment I say I'm following ISO 22301, then I cannot use other terms. Then I need to use 22301 terms. 6 is required. We need to look at the risk, as Satish just said, at that level. And then by the time we reach, and that's risk. I'm just going by the word, okay, right? And I'm saying these are my views, please. I don't mind what people have.
Daman, sorry to again interrupt. See, I think it's okay to have the risk, macro risk assessment, and micro level you will have a business impact assessment and related risk assessment. Okay. Now going one step ahead, one more question. You risk assessment ISO 31000, but for business impact assessment, do we have anything very concrete? Because
Okay.
when you do the business impact assessment, you will
Right.
look into all the kind of losses going to happen. You may quantify it, you may qualitatively look into it. But is there any reference standard for business impact assessment?
Maybe the question is not clear to me. Let me attempt this way. I'm
Yeah.
saying what I'm showing on the screen. I hope my screen is visible again to all. BIA is a process, which means there should be some inputs and there should be some outputs. The input to BIA is all processes. The challenge is, now this is what I'm sharing based on my experiences also. The moment I say, Daman, but we don't know our processes. This is your challenge. This is your business challenge, not BCM challenge. You need to know your processes. I know you have been running your business for 10, 15, 20 years without knowing your processes. I cannot challenge that. You are running your business, but I'm going by now it's a structured approach. We have decided to follow ISO 22001. BIA needs to be conducted for all processes. Before conducting BIA, we don't know the criticality. It's written clearly in the standard. The output can be so many prioritized processes. Second challenge, people say, if not, but then we have 1 million processes. Yes, then BIA needs to be conducted for 1 million processes. Yes, it needs to be conducted for 1 million processes. How many are critical? We don't use that term now. We say prioritized processes, but it means critical processes. 80-20 rule in 1 second BIA conducted for any organization in the world. Now I can do in 1 second BIA. 20%. Yes, we know 80-20 rule also. So there'll be some deviations. Yes, maybe 25, maybe 30. The moment you are reaching above that, please question yourself once, twice, thrice. Nothing comes free in this world. BCM also is not free. We need to be reasonable and practicable in our BCM approach. Otherwise, BCM may become a black hole, which means you may end up spending as much time, money, and effort as you have. So we need to be reasonable and practicable. What is reasonable for you will be different from what is reasonable for me. We need to establish ourselves, and that's what we do through BIA. And I also make this statement. While conducting BIA, please close your eyes. Don't think of risks. I don't need to. My process is down due to whatever reason. What is the impact over time? In 1 hour, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, weeks, and months. That's what I need to do in BIA.
Just to interrupt and answering Pradeep's question, if you are interested, Pradeep, to look into the business impact analysis as it is concerned with business continuity management, again, this comes from US, so I'll have to go back to NIST anyway. It's NIST 800-34 revision 1. It's applicable to the federal information system, but you can definitely use those as the best practices as most companies do. We use 800-30 all over every time. It's an RMF. So 800-30 read with 800-34 rev 1 would answer your question.
Yeah. Can you please put it in the chat box so that everyone can copy it?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hi, this is Purushottam. So I have put it in a chat. There is a ISO 22317 for BIA, which is a guideline.
Good.
To prepare a BIA.
Good. Thank you very much. I have not seen that, so I will not be able to make any observation as of now.
Daman, to add to the discussion, actually in the earlier version, the sequence was exactly the way you said. BIA comes first and then RA. But in the current version, in the standard, they have put a note, under 821, saying that the organization determines the order in which the BIA and RA are conducted. So it seems, they are actually trying to stop this debate.
Fine. No, that's fine. But it's still left to us, and I'm saying this is my way. That's what I'm saying, isn't it? And I'm attempting to link with some references to the clauses of the standard. Next challenge people face is, so why should we do BIA, and what do we do with BIA? Output of BIA goes into the next stage, which is strategy, and people do not understand that easily. So I'm spending few minutes here. Assume for people, there are possible strategies are that we have backup resources, we do succession planning, develop cross-training, trained cross-skilled resources, we keep documented procedures, reducing personal dependency and going to process dependency. And we could use lists also. Use ex-employees, call them back. Retired employees, call them back, or recruit. So these are possible strategies, but you will have to see which one is appropriate for you based on the RTO for your process. Assume the RTO is 2 days for your process. Can you go to ex-employees? Even if you pay me double, even if you buy my notice period, I may not be able to come back in 2 days. That's right. This is not right. And this is how we are using output of BIA in picking up the right solutions or strategies. Even retired employees may not be come back in 2 days. Recruitment, if you want to recruit fresh, it may take up to 3 months also, I think. Again, please do not challenge me. I'm not challenging anyone. These are my views. Okay. So most likely for 2 days RTO, 2 hours shorter RTOs, you need to build backup resources or successors or cross-train people or even document resources. Daman is not available. Pick up this document. Please do the work that Daman used to do. As another output of BIA is RPO. Now, ISO 22301-2019 doesn't talk of RPO for some reasons. That doesn't mean that we don't need RPO. If I decide to follow ISO 22301 or any other standard, I should not be doing less than that, but no one can stop me from doing more than that. RPO is still required. If we need to establish it. So people do not understand how to use it. I'm still saying output of BIA being used in strategies. So RPO is used in developing the data backup strategies. IT will use RPO to develop strategies for backup of your data. So you will have to have one primary data center and another secondary data center somewhere in the world. You can go to Moon and Mars also today, perhaps, if you can. But if you are saying zero RPO, this is what IT will have to do. Online real-time replication. I'm sure there are IT experts sitting here. I'm not IT expert. I'm just telling you the concept. This is very costly solution. Or if you say my RPO is 2 hours, they will still be doing online, but not a real-time replication. If you say my RPO is 8 hours, they will be happily designing a data backup strategy as end of day backup. And you see, that the cost goes up. If RPO is short, the cost is high. This is true about RTO also. If RTO is short, the cost of the solution or strategy is high. So we need to be aware of these to be reasonable and practicable. I was saying exercise, but I see actually if I want to give 15 minutes of questions, only 5 minutes left for me. So we can do this later. I've told you, even if you do not have the purchased copy of ISO 22301, at least for some period, ISO has made it freely available, but read only. You can go to internet and find and see. I say BIA is the backbone of the BCM. If your BIA is good, your BC plan will be good, or your BC plan will be as good as your BIA. There may still be questions. All right, all well, but why should we conduct BIA? In simplest terms, BIA gives me the requirements of BCM. So example of laptop, I was saying, if you want to buy a laptop, you come to my shop, I sell laptops, you'll have to tell me your requirements, your specifications. Similarly, today, I'm BCM head. You want me to implement BCM, you need to tell me, please, what do you need from me? I can give you Moon also, I can give you gold also, I can give you bronze also, I can give you silver as well. Please tell me what is the requirement, what is your specification for BCM, which are in the terms of these terms that we keep using. I hope everyone understands MAO, MPPod, MPPD, all three are same. Then RTO, RPO, and MBCO. These are established through BIA only. And then the resources that we need for continuity and dependencies, if any, and seasonality, and if there are any vital records. So much to be done in BIA. These are the requirements. Simply, one sentence answer to get the requirements of continuity we need to conduct BIA. But there is a friend, he wrote it. Quickly, I'll show it's from my upcoming book. By the end of this year, I hope cannot open the specified file. My mistake. It will take a little time then. Okay. And it may be breach of information security. For a second, I'll stop sharing them. Give me few seconds, please. I'm sharing screen again. Hope you will be able to see it now. Do you see it? This is manuscript. It's not finalized yet. It's not published yet. And I said Mark, so I'll do a search on Mark. I'm keeping it on for a few seconds. It's just 2 pages, but he has explained it very well in his own way. Even if I'm not a BCM professional, I will be able to understand this. This is similar to what happens in an emergency ward in a hospital. That's the way he has explained this. I request people to go through this.
Daman, a quick question.
Yes, please.
Satish.
Yes.
The BI starts with production services of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, should there be for support function? What is your experience? Have you seen organization doing like this?
Say that again, please. I couldn't understand.
The BI clause starts with the BI has to be done on the products and services of the organization.
Right.
So all the processes that produce products and services are considered.
Right.
And the support functions, typically,
Right.
for example, HR, IT, admin kind of functions.
Right.
Should the BI done for those also?
I
because in the last one, there's a dependency. So the BI talks of critical products and services, or rather all products and services, and this becomes HR, IT becomes dependency. So should the BI done for HR, IT, admin also? What's your experience?
My experience, my response is yes. In all my experience, 100% times it has been done for support functions also.
Because there are organizations, large organizations, who have refused to do this and saying that these are not directly related to the production services. These are support functions and they are dependencies to the main activities.
Satish, I'll give you my views on this, and Daman is absolutely right. Reason is, when you get such pushback from organization next time, tell them to go back to section 6 read with section 4. I give you an example. BIA, what will production do if your supply chain is disrupted? Now that is the risk you will identify under section 6.
No.
So same is the case with your IT, which is basically a support function in the resources if you want to put under section 7 or a section 6. So it is very, very essential that every service which supports the production and any other processes, they need to be part of BIA. And that is why Daman says it has to be prioritized approach. And absolutely that is correct.
Thank you very much. And once again, I'm not saying what is in the whole section. I'm not saying what is right, what is wrong. I'm saying these are my views. In my experience, 100% BIA has been conducted also. The challenge that I've seen is whether IT should be conducting or not. Because actually other business units can be done. Thank you very much.
And the second thing is that because you need to start always with section 4. So when you identify your internal and external issues, supply chain related issues would always figure in there, because that is the risk everyone is exposed to, and more so in COVID-19. And we have seen this, you have seen it in India itself, the oxygen related issue.
Yeah.
Whether for whatever reason it was politicized or not, but supply of oxygen was a major bottleneck.
Right. Thank you very much. Just running in the interest of time. Please stay with me. As we have said, there are so many outputs of BIA. That's why I call BIA is the backbone of BCM. It is the starting point. Yeah, all right. Policy needs to be created first of all. Am I right? Trust me, my experience, once again, I'm an auditor also. Almost 99.99% organizations, there is something missing, which according to me has to be even before BCM policy. We are deviating from this topic, but I'll still say in few seconds, there has to be, even before BCM policy, there has to be one document, which I call BCM Program Management Plan. I'm not saying BCM plan. That comes later. BIA-RA strategies, then only BC plan will come. But I'll do all this. I'll write policy also only if first my BCM program management plan is produced, and I don't find that in the organizations, even after 10-15 years of BCM journey, even after 10-15 years of certified BCM journey. No one is perfect. That's why how I conclude there are always some improvements possible. Even if you review work done by me, implementation done by me, you will be able to find some improvements. You will be able to find. Okay, quickly. Then how to conduct? Okay. I wanted to explain MO, RTOs, etc. I would have to die for a second. The worst that you can do to me as of now is that you cut my throat, you kill me, right? And there are so many ways: poison me, strangle me, push me down from the fourth floor, etc., etc. I'm an organization. My worst case scenario is that I go down completely. These poisoning me, strangling me, pushing me down, or cutting my throat is all causes that can bring me down. Flood, fire, earthquake, tsunamis, etc., etc. Assume you cut my throat. Do I die immediately? Scientifically, no. Someone said, Daman, you have 25 seconds. So what is MO? If your process goes down due to any reason, and if there is no recovery, when will this situation become unacceptable to you? To me, this situation will become unacceptable in 25 seconds. So my MAO or MTPD, we are back to MTPD in 2019 version. Surprisingly, MTPD is 25 seconds. In 25 seconds, if there is no recovery, this situation will become unacceptable for me. So when should my recovery happen? Which is RTO, recovery time objective. If your process goes down due to any reason, within quotes, italics, bold, beautiful, due to any reason. While I conduct BIA, I'm not bothered about reasons. If your process goes down due to any reason, for how long can you wait before it is started again? That is your RTO, which means it has to be within your MO. So we know our relationship, RTO must be less than MO. So in my case, it has to be less than 25 seconds, 0 to 24. All possible values, 24 is too bad. I'm almost dead. Even if you start my recovery, the chances of survival are low. So 24 is not good. 0 is too good. Here, someone cuts my throat. There, someone has to jump and press here, start my recovery. Where do we have such good friends with us, always in life with us? In BCM terms, this is too costly. We need to be reasonable. So roughly half of MO could be a good RTO. In this case, 10, 11, 12, 13, or 14 seconds. Roughly. RPO, recovery point objective, is independent of RTO. There is no relationship. Both may be same, both may be different. RPO is the amount of time loss that is acceptable to you. RPO is the time of data loss that is acceptable to you. MBCO, minimum business quantity objective, is the level of service that you want to provide upon recovery. Again, I'm going to make a statement and we'll move. We'll have difference of opinion. I say BCM is not BAU. BC plan will not bring back to normalcy. It will do the basic minimum pre-identified processes to pre-agreed levels in pre-agreed time frames. Even if we are able to do that, we are a great organization. It's not guaranteed. It is based on best effort basis. 3 different ways of conducting BIA to a workshop, large number, all 20 people, 15 will come, right? And you will have, within 2 days, it is possible to finish 15 departments BA. Theoretically, practically, it may take a little longer. What about the remaining 5? You send a mail. Daman, you couldn't attend the workshop. Attach, please find the template and the process. Please complete your BIA. 3 will respond, 2 will still not respond. Then you say, okay, Daman, I'll come and sit with you. Let's do it together. While you will get the best quality data, because sitting across we are doing it together. But it is most time consuming also. In any organization, generally you'll have to make combination of all three. This is very important for those who are new, if there is anyone who's new. And if you understand this, by the way, you have understood the BIA very well. Priority is based on RTO, nothing else. Shorter the RTO, higher is the priority. Shorter the RTO, costlier is the solution. Shorter the RTO, costlier is the solution. Higher the MBCO, costlier is the solution. So I was saying exercise 24. I have a 2 days course on BIA, just finished 2 instances and the feedback has been great. Unbelievable. Trust me. Even senior people, experienced people sitting and saying, Daman, this was eye opener. I like it. So number remained from there. But based on the above, what is the ideal situation? Ideal situation is your RPO should be as big as possible. And your MBU should be as small as possible. This is what is being reasonable and practicable. Review once a year is a good practice, may or may not be anywhere in the standard frequency, but generally we practitioners have been saying is good, or whenever significant changes have happened. 4 questions at the end. Who should conduct BIA? I'm going fast. I'm answering myself, right? Who should conduct BIA? The one who knows. The B in BIA is business. The one who knows business best. So it is department head or unit head who should be conducting. We know they will not have time, so it has to be next person. The one who knows the business of business, as simple as. Who should review and approve? The boss should review and approve. Simple. Who owns the BIA? BC manager, BC champion or coordinator or SPOC, whatever you call them. The one who signed it. I am BC champion. I have conducted this. That's right. But you are my boss, department head or unit head. You own it, please. Okay. Thank you very much. Some mistakes I'm saying in BIA, BC manager conducts the BIA, department coordinator doesn't know. Consultant does, and the BC manager doesn't know. Big mistake according to me. BIA process doesn't exist. Very clear in the standard. We don't have time. I could have shown you the clause. That's what I do in my training. Go clause, understand the clause, please. We have not done this generally in the past, even in the implementer and lead implementer courses. But now, because you're giving me 2 days, I have time to explain all this. See, it is written very clearly. There has to be a process. But if you don't find, then I have a challenge. I'm not saying it's major NC. I'm not saying it's minor NC, but I'm definitely going to make a negative impression for sure, and observation for sure. Or if you show me the process or methodology and the BIA do not match. BIA is not approved. BIA is too old. BIA methodology is too old, right? When you say process, people start telling me stories. No, please, audit is all evidence-based. Show me, please. I want to see the evidence. If you say there is a process, what does it mean? Written, reviewed, approved, published, used, and reviewed over a period. This is what I want to see. Evidence for all. Just like BIA, RA also is a process. There should be some input and there should be some output. Output of BIA goes input to RA. This is what I'm saying once again, right? It needs to be conducted for prioritized processes. So that's the output of BIA, a long list of risks. That is one input, and your risk appetite. That's another input. Output is just like BIA, the prioritized risks now. If the long list was 60, no organizations can or should attempt to focus on all. I want some prioritization. Tell me, please, which one to focus on. And there may be existing controls and there may be recommended controls. And there is confusion. What is RA and what is RM? The standard is asking us to do RA only. Mitigation is not required. 16 years, 15 years, no one has ever asked this question. Very clear to me. Management needs to be done. Mitigation needs to be done. For some reasons, in the standard, it has been written as strategies in strategies. So at RA step, I'm finding, identifying, and evaluating. And then whatever mitigations to be done, that is part of strategy. That's why we say output of BIA and RA go into two strategies. What in my experience I find is that this 4 T's are not understood by people, even if they had been doing risk management, whether ERM or whether RA within BCM journey. So quickly, I want to touch upon that. Tolerate if the risk value is within the risk appetite, no further action required. Tolerate this risk. But if you find a risk where risk value is more than your risk appetite, what do? Treat please, which means you need to spend some money and you need to buy a solution. For fire, you do install the detectors and suppressors, detection system and suppression system. That's treatment you are doing. You find a risk where risk value is more than risk appetite, you can't tolerate it. The treatment is very costly, you don't want to spend that much money, then you can go to third T, which is transfer. Transfer is done through insurance. You still need to pay money. You still need to spend some money, but by paying that premium, your headache becomes someone else's headache. Sometimes you may like to use a combination of treat and transfer. Example, fire. You treat through the detection system and suppression system, but you also buy the building insurance or fire insurance. So that becomes combination of treat and transfer. Fourth one, you find a risk where risk value is more than your risk appetite, so you cannot tolerate it. Treatment is very costly. You don't want to invest that much money. Transfer also is very costly, or maybe the insurance for that risk is not available yet in the market. Then what do you do? Terminate, please. Terminate what? The process that is giving rise to this risk, which means stopping business. That's why it is the last option. Yes, it is the last option, but this is a valid option. Example can be given. Assume Delhi branch. If you have a Delhi branch, too many risks there, and risks have been going up in last years, you say last 5 years, right? What do you do? Today you can decide close Delhi branch then, because it's beyond tolerance. Treatment is too costly, transfer is not available or is too costly. What do we do? Close Delhi branch. That's a valid option, last option, no doubt about it. So based on experience, even today, even in largest organizations, I find the risk management department or function doesn't exist. And then we talk of being experts and being good, and today we call being resilient also. Or the same like BIA, the process doesn't exist. Very clear to me. Whatever you want to do in life, there should be process, a written down process for that. I would like to see that. And it's in the standard also, by the way. Or mismatch. Process and register do not match. Or this register is not approved, or it's too old, or methodology is too old. Quickly, a live example. Sorry, we are reaching 8. My apologies for this. Example is from Abu Dhabi. I was asked to implement BCM. I said, thank you very much. And generally, my first question is, starting point is, risk. Do you have an existing risk register? Yes, the one we have. Can I see it, please? This is head of risk department. Who is director? Director means number 2 in the organization. And he's head of risk also. He sends me an Excel sheet, which has entries like this. Date, time, what happened, what did we do? I was speechless. Is this risk register? To me, it appears to be incident log. I took some time to compose because he is client, he is director, he is number 2, he is head of risk. How do I say this is not correct? So politely, then I said, this seems to be reactive to me. Good practice is to be proactive. He said, Daman, you asked for risk register. What do I register? What has happened? And that reminded me of our attendance register from schools. And in offices also, long ago, we used to have attendance register. I had to mark my, I was speechless second time. But with some polite discussions, they agreed, yes, Daman, this is reactive. We agree we need to be proactive. As you're saying, they started maintaining 2 risk register after that, based on my discussions. So similarly, BIA-RA also needs to be reviewed once a year. No rule, not mentioned in the standard, but it's a good practice based on experience we are saying. Same questions. Who should conduct array? It is to be conducted for all prioritized processes. So the one who found the prioritized processes, who was that person? The coordinator or Spark BC champion. He or she has to do this. Who will review? Just like BIA, the department head. My boss has to approve it. Who owns it? He or she owns it. Very clear to me. I was showing some courses that I run because I'm saying 45 minutes or I have taken 1 hour, actually not enough to do these. I have 2 days course on BIA, 2 days course on RA, skipping all this, but I still request, please respond. I'm running a global emotional impact assessment survey. I believe this is very important. Request, please participate, do respond. I have given a link, or easy, go to my site, damandevsood.com, and you'll find a link there also. Do that. Second, I'm doing World Kindness Movement, 13th November. People are attempting to become the global kindness, World Kindness Day. Please submit your story. This is not my survey. This is UNESCO. Please submit, link given here. Again, you can find, you can write to me. I'll be happy to do that. This is a little bit I'm attempting to do for society. This is where I would like to stop. My coordinates in front of you. Please feel free to write to me anytime. A response is a guarantee to the best of my capabilities. We have taken, with apologies, full time. I'm available if you wish to continue for any questions, if you want to have any discussions. And we have maximum, it seems we touched 30 participants. I'm happy. I said even with 1, I will be happy, but we know 90 registrations were there. If you have any questions, otherwise, Rajesh, you can take over. Yes, please.
Yeah, in fact, I know. In fact, we spend little bit time of which is first, rather RA or BI. It's okay, but this was required actually, because as we all are doing our day-to-day activities. Thank you very much, and I'm sure many must have got some enlightenment in terms of looking at the subject. I'm sure seniors like Satish, all of the other people who have joined actually.
May be able to name only few. Ashit and Satish, I think name coming. You also, Rajesh, one of the seniors.
Yes.
Others, I don't know all names, but we do not mean to disrespect anyone. All seniors, and even if you are not one of those, participants are to be respected. Otherwise, the sessions can be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, if you can, if all this thing, and sir has given us the freedom. If we can do with a smaller group also, it's okay. But I feel let us make for another one month. We all can study, and then if we still want something, we can ask certain few questions, and we can have another round if sir is having the time and we all want to do it. So I'm really thankful to you, sir, for starting a intent of this ERM group about technical discussion, and I think you all give your feedback. That is important. Please give the feedback to sir, so that it will be helpful to everybody, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And sir, would you like to request? Sir, we would like to request. Sir, is this session is recorded?
Yes, I lost initial 2-3 minutes. I remember only after that, so it's recorded. Yes, it will be available. My request.
So nice of you.
We are closing. My request: switch on the cameras, please. We should take a group photograph. I'll be happy to take a group photograph, and I'll be happy to share with you all. I'll wait for a few seconds. Are the cameras on? Okay, then wear your best smiles, if you wish. And here I go. 1, 2. Some cameras still coming up. Thank you.
There is no business impact if you smile.
And thank you very much, Daman, for this such a wonderful session. I am not an expert in security. This is Sandeep Gupte.
Yes, Sandeep. Yes, please.
I am from the IT infrastructure background, but I am hoping to learn a lot from the experts such as you and so many other people on this group. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much. I will say what I believe in. I mean it. I'm a lifelong learner. Even if I was speaking today, I have learned few points. I've said that already, right? Session is finishing. Learning sharing is forever. Stay in touch. Ashit, you have some point? Yes, please.
No, I was just telling the group, if you really want to understand how risk assessment and BI are so critical to any business, go and deep dive into the colonial pipeline issue or the cyber attack. You would find the answers. And it is the government accounting office came heavily on DHS and CISA. The problem was that they are supposed to oversee this, and there was not a single assessment was done for last several years. And even the company failed to do any risk assessment and even segmentation of network. So luckily, they ransomware attack, basically they avoided creating catastrophe because they cut off the supply of the gas and the petroleum products to avoid any catastrophe downstream. But the problem is that because there was no risk assessment, no BI, nothing, the East Coast suffered heavily because there was no supply available. The financial system was in mess, inventory was in mess, supply management system was in a mess. Everything has to be cut off. So that's a classic case. I'm just trying to tell you that if you want to understand how critical is BIA and RA for even critical infrastructure.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It seems we are here, even if we started saying thanks, but if you have any questions, any inputs, even if you want to share experiences, I will not close even if there is 1% left. I'm available, right? In the meanwhile, then I'm providing more information on 3rd of July. I'm speaking from SHM platform on organizational resilience. If you wish, again, the session is free. It's 2 hours. We are calling it masterclass. There will be 2 guest speakers also with me, one from the government of India and one from UK. Please attend if you have any interest in organizational resilience. That's the need of the hour, according to me. And any suggestions, any improvements, because no one is perfect in this world. I say we shouldn't even attempt to be perfect. Being good is good enough. Let's be that first and then keep looking for a little more. Improvements are always possible. So I'll be happy if you provide any suggestions for improvement. I wouldn't mind at all. Anyone, any other points? I hope no one will mind me posting this photograph on the social media. There is no objection to that either. We will say.
Oh no, actually, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. We become the global celebrities.
Please go ahead.
We will become the global celebrities. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Su. Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone, for the time. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening. Take care. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But Ashit, what's the time for you? I think this is.
I am morning, sir, 10:40 a.m. on the East
10:40
Coast.
is still okay. Still okay. But it's
In the morning. It's in the morning.
Yes. In the morning. Yes. It's too early. But I mean 10:40 is fine. But still
because it was your session, Daman, I came rushing from the doctor's office.
All right.
I did not even go to my car dealer.
I
just
honored.
came to hear this specially. Now
honored.
I will go to take my car,
I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
What else does a speaker need? What else does a speaker need? Right? This gives us kick. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
I'll close the session then now. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Daman sir. Thank you for the nice session.
Jai Jinendra, Jai Bajrangbali. Bye.
Jai Jinendra.
Bye.